Anheuser-Busch and Nikola Motor Company announced recently that America's leading brewer has placed an order for up to 800 hydrogen electric powered semi-trucks from the pioneer in hydrogen electric renewable technology. These zero-emission trucks, which will be able to travel between 500 and 1,200 miles and will be refilled within about 20 minutes, reduce idle time and are expected to be integrated into Anheuser-Busch's dedicated fleet beginning in 2020. Through this agreement, Anheuser-Busch aims to convert its entire long-haul dedicated fleet to renewable-powered trucks by 2025. Nikola's cutting-edge technology will enable the brewer to achieve this milestone across its long-haul loads, while also helping to improve road safety through the truck's advanced surround viewing system. The partnership with Nikola will contribute to Anheuser-Busch's recently announced 2025 sustainability goals, which include reducing CO2 emissions by 25% across its value chain. Once fully implemented, the carbon reductions gained from these 800 trucks will reduce the brewer's carbon emissions by more than 18%. That's equivalent to taking more than 13,000 passenger vehicles off the road every year. Emission reduction has and continues to be a long-term focus for Anheuser-Busch. In 2006, the brewer joined the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's Smart Way Transport program, and since 2008, has reduced its total energy use in U.S. breweries by more than 30%. Anheuser-Busch has been brewing beer for more than 165 years, and through its commitment to a sustainable future, hopes to continue doing so for another 165 and beyond. And a security alert, Twitter is urging all of its more than 330 million users to immediately change their passwords after a bug exposed them in plain text. While Twitter's investigation showed that there was no evidence that any breach or misuse of the unmasked passwords occurred, well, the company is recommending that users change their Twitter passwords out of, quote, an abundance of caution, both on the site itself and anywhere else that they may have used that password. That includes third-party apps like Twitterrific and TweetDeck. According to Twitter, the bug occurred due to an issue in the hashing process that masks passwords by replacing them with random strings of characters that get stored on Twitter's system. But due to an error with the system itself, apparently passwords were being saved in plain text to an internal log instead of masking them with that hashing process. Twitter claims to have found the bug on its own and removed the passwords. It's working to make sure that similar issues don't come up again. Twitter hasn't revealed how many users' passwords may have potentially been compromised, or even how long the bug was exposing passwords before it was found and fixed. But the fact that the company is urging its entire user base to change their passwords indicates that it would seem to be a significant number of users. In general, it's worth taking some time to think about how your passwords are set up. Maybe even consider using a password manager and avoid repeating passwords across services. That way, when leaks like this do happen, you can avoid the worst of the damage. Check this out. Plans for an Australian space agency have been in the works for months now, but the ABC is reporting that the federal government is putting its money where its mouth is and setting aside $50 million to help launch the program. The government is expected to unveil what it's calling seed funding for a prospective space agency in the federal budget, in an attempt to create more jobs and take part in what most observers believe will be a fast-growing industry in the future. There's been a lot of excitement around the idea of Space 2.0, the idea of lower cost and commercial space travel. Former CSIRO boss Megan Clark, who helped the government complete a review on this topic, is expected to head up the agency, at least in its first year. According to the report, the government expects that the private sector will contribute the majority of the funding required for Australia's space industry. But $50 million is a pretty decent start. I was always a big Guitar Hero and Rockband fan, and now Harmonix has announced that they will be bringing back select songs from the Rockband network to Rock Band 4 on modern consoles. The Rock Band network was conceived as a way to increase the number of songs available to download for Rock Band, without massively scaling up development resources. It allowed content creators to author, peer review, and then upload their own tracks to the network and get things up faster than if Harmonix were doing it themselves. Rockband Network is returning to the series with Rock Band 4, but unlike the Rock Band DLC, players are not able to carry over previous purchases to the newer game. Harmonix says that it came down to either being able to bring back songs or starting fresh on new purchases. The service will prioritize Rock Band Network's most notable and best-selling songs first, and then work backwards from there, and is coming in addition to Harmonix's own weekly DLC. Players who are hoping for specific Rock Band Network songs to come back can actually request them through the Rock Band request page. And finally, happening in this week's What The... Ain't that a pair of kicks in the head? The three men who cops say jumped a teenager in East Flushing, Queens, and stole his $2,000 pair of Air Jordans right off his feet found out the hard way that the sneakers were just knockoffs when they tried to sell them at a consignment shop. Not only that, but the store's surveillance camera captured crystal clear video of them as they tried to cash in on the faux Jordans. Police released the footage as they continue to look for the trio. The victim had been standing on a sidewalk on Saturday when the mugger's white sedan slowly passed him. Then they pulled over. Three men got out of the car. One grabbed the victim from behind and pulled him down, while the other two grabbed each shoe and ran off with it. They went and got back in their vehicle and bolted. The victim, whose name has not been released, told cops that the three men stole his $2,000 Air Jordans. It's actually unclear if he knew that they were bogus when he gave the cops their value. Just 20 minutes after the mugging, the same three guys walked into Image, a used high-end sneaker shop. They asked how much they could get. The clerk compared the offered sneakers to the real ones they had in stock. They appeared exactly the same until you looked closely. Cheaper material. The stitching was different. He told the trio they were fake. We can't buy them. Asked to estimate the value of the knockoffs, the first employee lowballed a lot and said $0 because it's a fake. He said cops have been canvassing nearby sneaker shops in search for those three robbers. Thanks for watching your weekly tech update. If you have a story you think I should feature on the program, shoot me an email, djraymcneil@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook too, at Your Weekly Tech Update, and check out our podcast, video and audio podcasts, available on iTunes and elsewhere on the interwebs. Till next time, I'm Ray McNeil. Good night, world.